Oh my goodness, here we are. Okay, I'm just adjusting my thing here. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness, we're live. I'm hoping you guys can see me and hear me. Just making sure I've got everything going on here. So while I'm just waiting for a few people to turn up, I'm hoping I can see your comments. Right, so what I'm going to do is, let me just post up here. I'm going to pin a comment before we get going. Hi Zia, how are you? Hopefully you can hear me okay. Can you just write a comment or just do a thumbs up just to let me know that you can hear me? Hi Leah. Can you just let me know that you can hear me okay, please? I've got a microphone plugged in, so I'm not sure if it's working. Can you hear me? I just need someone just to let me know that you can hear me okay. Leah, if you can let me know, that'll be fab. Hi. Oh, great. Thanks, Leah. Thank you so much. Right, let me just pin. I'm just going to pin this comment here. Got a bit of a croaky voice today. I've had a bit of a sore throat, so it's typical, isn't it? So hopefully you guys it's not going to be too croaky as we're going through this. So I'm just going to give everyone a few more seconds, just a few more people to join. So it's lovely and sunny here in Spain today. We've been enjoying some lovely weather at the moment. And hopefully it's not too smoky in here. I've been actually smudging. I've been smudging for the last half an hour just to kind of clear all the ions in the air before I do this Facebook Live. Feeling a little bit nervous. And I've got some notes as well that I'm going to run through because I want to make sure that I just cover everything that I said that I was going to cover with you guys as well. So I've got some notes up here. And here's my book, if you guys haven't seen it yet. I'm going to go through the book as well, through the as I go through the video, I'll show you some pages. So if you haven't seen inside it yet, give you the opportunity to have a look through. But there are some videos, some kind of look through videos on the botanicalmandalas.com website. And I'm just waiting actually for Amazon to approve me to have the look inside on the actual book information on Amazon. So I had to kind of resubmit my book PDF so people can actually kind of look inside. So I really wanted to give the opportunity today to just talk about the book a little bit, and then obviously show you inside the book and give you the opportunity to ask me questions and things like that. So we see where we are. We're 4 minutes. I know it's a bit of a funny time being a Friday. It's a Friday morning, isn't it, for quite a lot of you? And here in Spain, it's 4 p.m. So I know most people are probably either enjoying the sunshine or they're at work. Okay, so we're going to get started. So hi everyone. For those of you who are new to me, I'm Louise Gale. I am a mixed media botanical mandala artist, and I have just written a book. So here's my book, if you haven't seen it yet, Botanical Mandalas. And in this Facebook Live, I'm just going to really just talk a little bit about the book, what's inside, why I wrote it, kind of what I want people to get out of the book, some of the freebies that are involved if you want to buy the book, and generally just give you an opportunity to ask questions as well. So first of all, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who has already purchased my book. It's just amazing, like some of the comments and some of the emails I've received has just been so amazing. So I just wanted to start off by saying a huge thank you to everybody. And it's just been awesome just sort of seeing all your comments come in, and I've had some lovely emails from people as well. So and as many of you know, it's taken me probably a year, I think, probably about a year to like put this book together, because I've been working on it in my spare time. And I've been working with a wonderful editor and layout artist called Tonya Jenny. And I'm not sure, she may join the call at some point today. And so I've been working with Tonya, and she has done a wonderful job. She has just, it's just been so amazing. As I've been writing all the content, she's obviously been editing it. And she has actually created some beautiful pages. And I'm going to show you some of those in a moment in the book. So I highly recommend, if you're thinking about self-publishing a book, or you're looking for someone to work with, I would highly recommend Tonya. And she's so much fun to work with as well. So it's been super cool. So yes, so thank you everyone who's purchased the book. If you haven't yet purchased, I've just put some links up on the description, and also I've pinned a comment with the links as well. So if you want to find out more about the book, I created a new website called botanicalmandalas.com, and I'm going to be kind of putting a lot more information on there about the book, and sharing a lot more information about what's really behind the book, because it's kind of like part inspiration and part art instruction as well. So I'll be posting a lot more on that website. And also, if you want to go ahead and purchase the book, it's available on Amazon. And there's a link there that just takes you to your country specific Amazon. So it's available on Amazon.com, throughout Europe, Canada, and the UK as well. So one of the other things I want to do today as well, not just show you inside the book, I want to do a couple of giveaways. So even if you're watching this live, or if you're watching the recording, if you feel like you'd like to share the video, there should be a share link, I think, on the top right hand side, or just under where the description is. If you want to go ahead and share the video on your Facebook profile, if you're happy to do that with your followers, I'd really appreciate it. I'd love so many people just to get to know this book and really get a lot out of the things that I'm going to talk about in this book. And I'm offering a free copy of the book to give away. I'm offering a print of, on the cover of the book, you'll see there's this kind of a spring burst. I'm offering just a print of that. And then it won't be framed, it'll just be like a regular print. So I'm offering that as one of the giveaways, and I'm going to be offering some free spots in any of my nature and mandala classes that I currently have available on louisegale.com. So if you'd like to enter the giveaway, then just feel free just to share this either in a group that you might manage, on your own Facebook page or your own Facebook profile. But that's obviously completely up to you if you feel that this is something that your friends might like to know about as well. So I've got my notes here just to make sure I don't forget anything. Let me just check to see if anyone else has joined. There are a lot of comments. I can't actually see your comments. This is really weird. Last time I did a Facebook Live, I could see your comments. Here we are. Okay. Oh, thanks, Leah, for sharing. That's fantastic. Thank you. That's great. Yeah, Leah, it's actually on Amazon. Leah just asked me where the book was. So the book is actually on Amazon now. So even if you just do a search for Botanical Mandalas, it'll come up on Amazon. And also I've put some links in the description and pinned a post as well. So if you wanted to have a look after this video or during the video, you can just click on those links. Hi, Tonya. I was just singing your praises. So everyone, Tonya's here. She's the lady I was just talking about that's helped me edit and do all the layout as well. Oh, hi, Annie. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, hi, Nadia. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. That's great. Hi, Diana. Let me just say hello to everybody. Here we go. Oh, wonderful. Okay. So super duper duper. So as I said, I've got some notes here to make sure I cover everything. So firstly, I just want to do a quick kind of what's the book about? It's so funny because obviously a lot of people, there are a lot of people that know about mandalas, and there are a lot of people that know about nature art as well. But I have had quite a lot of questions about, you know, so what's the book? What's the book about? So essentially, just in a nutshell, the book is really about reconnecting back to nature and using the inspiration that we find in nature to draw and paint motifs. So kind of like little flowers and little leaves, and then taking those motifs and creating what I would call beautiful mandala designs. So as I said before, the book is part inspiration and part art instruction, and it's really packed. There's 176 pages, and it's really packed. Let me just do a quick flick through. It's really packed, like full of inspiration, lots of exercises, lots of tips and lots of tutorials. And hopefully you're going to love the images in here as well. I really took care, kind of like choosing images that I felt were really inspiring. So basically the book is about reconnecting to nature and just using that inspiration to draw from nature and create these beautiful botanical mandalas. So I've actually already had a few people emailing me, and they've obviously got Prime or something, because they ordered the book on Tuesday night, I think it came out. They ordered it, they've got it straight away, and they've already emailed me and said how amazed they are with how much is actually in the book. So thank you so much, because I did put my heart and soul into it. And there's also a lot that I couldn't put in the book. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit later about the book club. So a lot of the items that I couldn't put actually into the book, I put into the book club. So when you do purchase the book, there's tons and tons of like extra stuff that comes as part of the book club. So there's kind of like some video tutorials and some downloads and lots of stuff like that. So hi Eileen. Now Eileen's one of the artists that I've got in the back of the book. So I put a call out about a year ago, I think it was, for some of my students and people that have taken my classes to actually have the opportunity to be in the book. So I've got like a gallery section in the book here. There we go, you can see that. So there's some amazing artists that are in the back of the book here. And there's also going to be a gallery on botanicalmandalas.com as well, because I know there's so many of you that wanted to contribute to the book, and for some reason or another you weren't able to. So there's going to be a gallery on the website too. So let's get back to what's the book about. So I just wanted to quickly show you, because I know some of you have actually asked me like kind of what's the difference between a mandala and a botanical mandala. And I've got two examples here just to show you. So this is one of the mixed media mandalas that I created a couple of years ago. And this is, I guess, is what I would call a traditional mandala. Now, traditional mandala is, a mandala is essentially a circular design that kind of grows from the center. And you'll probably see that a lot of the traditional mandala designs have these kind of lotus petals as frameworks. And these are kind of like the favorite way that I like to create mandala designs. You can have lots and lots of different motifs. People do use kind of leaves and flowers, but generally in traditional mandala designs, there's lots of kind of lines and very kind of paisley designs. And this one here, obviously, it doesn't have too many motifs. It has a lot of texture. And this is one of the ones that we create in my class that's called Mixed Media Mandala Masterpieces. And we do dream catchers as well in that class. That's a traditional mandala. And then this one is an example. Now this is actually one of the tutorials that's in the book. This is what I would call a botanical mandala. Now there's just a few botanical motifs here, but this one is inspired by my time in Bali. Now last August I was lucky enough to spend a month in Bali, and I actually wrote a couple of the chapters of the book while I was there, because I had the opportunity to really take some time out and slow down and, you know, get really connected to nature again and not be on the computer too much. So I really got to immerse myself in nature, and I did lots and lots of kind of drawings that were inspired by Bali. So I really wanted to include a project about Bali in the book. So this is one of the mandala, mixed media mandalas that we create actually in the Botanical Mandala book. So this is what I would call a botanical mandala. So essentially it has a lot more flowers in there, a lot more kind of fauna, a lot more leaves, a lot more kind of botanical motifs. And I'll show you some botanical motifs later on as well. So that's essentially kind of like the difference for any of you that are very new to mandalas. I know a lot of you are already very established mandala artists. So let me just see who's here. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Diana. Thanks so much for sharing. Hi, Julie. Let me just see. I think a lot of the comments are kind of a little bit hickledy-pickledy. Right, so that's essentially what the book's about. And I thought I did really want to kind of just read you an excerpt from the introduction of the book. And hopefully we have time to do that. So there's the introduction here. And I'll just quickly read this to you, because this essentially, I guess, is really what the book is about, or what I want the book, or what I would like you to get out of the book. Excuse me, swallowing my words. So it's titled Let Nature Be Your Guide. And Mother Nature is a beautiful designer, and we are reminded of her creations at every turn. Nature conspires with us and for us. It is part of us. We are part of her, and we are all connected. Each season provides us with unique colour palettes, new inspiration, and most of all, a reminder of the cycle of life and the beauty it beholds. When you look closely, you will see patterns, formulas, worlds within worlds, and an endless inspiration for botanical mandala designs. Spending time outside can often be limited due to our busy lives, and I think we probably all can relate to that. So the projects within this book will help you connect with the world around you through nature and the world within you through mandala creation. Being in nature and noticing the beauty in every tiny detail of life is the most natural way to live in the present moment. So as an artist, when I first landed on the new shores of southern Spain, I felt lost without my art supplies and a dedicated space in which to create. So the universe soon showed me that the world was my art studio and nature my materials. So all I had to do was see with new eyes and listen with my heart. I spent my morning beach walks gathering natural found objects and creating little temporary temples in the form of nature mandalas. And then as part of this morning ritual, I also found myself feeling more relaxed, calmer, and in tune with myself and the natural world around me. It opened my eyes up to a new way of being. So there are many benefits to being outside in nature, breathing in the air, grounding ourselves with the natural energy of the earth, letting the healing sunlight touch our skin, and being constantly inspired by nature's gifts at every turn. So if you don't have access to a garden, try exploring your local park, garden centre, or you can visit a florist as well. These are wonderful places to go all year round if you're in need of kind of filling the well. So nature is found in so many places and opens up an entire world of inspiration and wonder. So my invitation to you is to use this book as a guide to find a deeper connection with the natural world and your inner creative playmate. So notice what botanical elements speak to you. Observe how each season affects you and inspires you. Dive deep into particular natural objects. By connecting to nature and using the meditative process of creating mandalas, I hope this book inspires you to spend more time in nature. I hope it inspires you to create your own unique mixed media mandalas from the heart, knowing we are all part of the whole. So I think that essentially is what I want the book to bring to the world, and I am actually really so pleased with how it's turned out. I really am, and I just hope you guys love it as much as I do as well. So why did I write this book? I think I probably talked a little bit about why I wrote this book, but I think essentially, I think, we all know how amazing technology is, and, technology has really opened up an amazing world of opportunities and connections. But I kind of feel like many of us may even feel as well that we're losing our connection to the natural world. So I think now more than ever, we need to connect back to nature, spend less time on technology if we can. I know it's difficult, and more time outside and seeing kind of what all the wonder is out there. And I think there's so much inspiration in nature. And I know a lot of the artists that are watching this now, I know that many of you are inspired by what you find in nature as well. And it really is such a huge inspiration. And I think, drawing from nature is kind of like a meditation as well. And I think it helps us de-stress. And I think it really does help create a calm and happy life. So, essentially, why did I write this book? That's one of the reasons. And then the other reason it's so funny, a couple of years ago, I was actually in another book called The Mandala for the Inspired Artist, and the publishers invited me to contribute to that book. And I think there was about 4 or 5 of us that wrote that book. And during that time, I already wanted to write my own book, but because I got pulled into that project, I put this book on hold for a little while. And that was a wonderful project to be part of. But now I'm so happy I got to write this book, which is essentially my own book, which was a huge goal of mine. And it's fantastic to accomplish that. And if anybody wants to find out more about how to go about self-publishing, then please feel free to email me at info@louisegale.com. I know Tonya, my editor and layout artist, and we've been talking about maybe doing like a Q&A or something for people as well. So, we've learned a huge amount from working on this project. And, I do want to write more books. And definitely next time there's lots and lots of lessons learned. So, if people are thinking about doing the same thing, then I think we'd like to, kind of share some of those lessons learned and help people kind of put more work out into the world. Essentially, I think it's great to put our own projects out into the world. So, so people were asking me about, obviously the mandala for inspired artist, and asking if I was going to do my own book. So that kind of spurred me on to get that project up and running again. So let's just see if anybody new has just joined, if there's any questions. Oh, thanks, Tonya. Tonya just said that the frame print is so pretty. Thank you. Oh, the fun of Facebook. I know, Annie. So Leah says she'd love to see my botanical mandalas as beach towels. Do you know what's so funny, Leah? I can't remember who it is. I don't know if it's Society 6 or maybe it's Fine Art America. I know they do like circular beach towels or something. So I was looking at those. So thank you very much for the thought and the encouragement. Oh, and thanks, Leah. Oh, thank you for saying you love my mandala courses. That's really lovely to hear. You found a new passion. Yes, and actually, Leah, you obviously a lot in my courses, we do a lot of hand-drawn mandalas and hand-paint mandalas, but you found a new love of, is it Procreate you use on the iPad? So I think that's just a fantastic app. If anybody has iPads, then Procreate, I've heard, I haven't got an iPad, but I've heard it's just a fantastic app for actually creating mandala designs. And I know Leah has done quite a lot on there as well. So let me just see if there's anybody else with any more questions. Oh, hi, Julie. Oh, I'm glad you got your copy. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. That's wonderful. Oh, thanks, Kim. Kim was just saying wonderful thoughts. Thank you. Oh, thank you, everybody. So no, I just wanted to just sort of give you a little bit of background. I think I'm going to make some more videos as well for the website, just to talk a bit more about the background of the book. I do talk about it in one of the chapters. There's one of the chapters that's got quite a lot of writing in there, the one that's about reconnecting to nature. And I do talk about my story, actually, about why it's really important for me to spend so much time in nature. And essentially, I find it really hard to spend a lot of time on the computer. I didn't have a mobile phone for like 6 years, I think it was. And I only just got one recently for emergencies and to use Instagram. So I've not really had like mobile technology for a long time. I don't have Wi-Fi in my house. I have a cabled internet, and I find it really hard to spend a lot of time on technology, and I have to take lots and lots of breaks. So I think, when I first moved to Spain, it really hit home, I think, for me, what was going on for me, like with working so much on the computer. And because I am at the beach, I spent nearly every morning at the beach, and I started to actually see how that was helping me feel a lot better. Had my bare feet into the earth, and I really felt that I was being healed by Mother Earth. And I guess that whole process of my story of kind of detoxing, I guess, from technology and spending more time in nature essentially was kind of what inspired me to really, really put this book together. And as I said earlier, I think, more than ever, we need to spend more time in nature. And I'll definitely share some more stories, I think, about the process I went through, because I think it's really important, because I know other people are probably feeling the same way. Other people are probably feeling, they've got iPads and computers and, you know, cell phones, and it's just kind of like a little bit overwhelming sometimes. So spending time in nature and drawing and actually using this whole process to create botanical mandalas really is a fantastic healing process. And that's something that, you know, I went through and I've benefited from. So I really want other people to benefit from that as well. So are you ready to kind of have a look through the book a little bit? I'm just going to take you through each chapter and just talk a little bit about. Leah's saying six years with no mobile phone. Yeah, I know. It was so funny when I met new people and they'd be like, what's your number? I'm like, I don't have a phone. Oh, so Leah's saying she uses PaintStorm to create some of her mandalas. Fantastic. Oh, hi, Dreamer. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's so lovely to see you. I think you're in Paris. Are you in Paris, Dreamer, recording a new class? I think so. So I work with Dreamer on some of her online classes. She's an amazing oil painter. Oh my goodness. So you have to check Dreamer's work out. It's beautiful work. So I think she's in Paris at the moment recording a new class all about Paris and the inspiration. Oh, thanks, Eileen. So Eileen's saying that every time she takes one of my courses, it inspires her to get away from tech and get outside. That's really, that's wonderful that you say that, because that's really my intention. And obviously, you know, I'm using the computer to to create my courses, so I need kind of like extra time to be out in nature as well. Okay, so let me just, sorry if you're hearing this mouse. Let's see if there's any more questions. So guys, if you have any questions at all as I'm going through, I am going to try and go back, obviously, as I'm on the live video and answer your questions. But if something happens and I miss any of your questions, then I'm going to reply within the comment stream and I'll tag you. I'll try and tag you. So, you know, I'm going to answer all of your questions. So I want to make sure that I do that. And if you've just joined, then please remember to join the giveaway. So basically, if you share this video, so all you have to do is click on the share button and you can post this to your Facebook profile if you think your friends might like the Botanical Mandala book. And as a little thank you, I'm going to give away 3 things. So a free copy of the book, Botanical Mandalas, a free print. This is what's on the cover of the Botanical Mandala book, and then some free spots in any of my nature and mandala classes, so you can get to choose kind of which classes you might want to take. So even if you're watching the recording, you can still share this video and still enter the drawing, because I'm going to leave it open until Monday evening, so Monday night until 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're watching the recording, please feel free to still share, because when I come back to the video, I can see who shared my video and I'm going to enter you all into the prize drawing as well. So thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it for doing that. So let's have a little walk through the book. Let me just do a time check. So that's good. We're in half an hour. Okay, so as I said earlier in the live video, Amazon, I submitted my book PDF to Amazon, so the little look inside feature should be available soon. So if you haven't yet purchased my book and you're unsure about what's inside and things like that, I've posted kind of like a little flick through video on the botanicalmandalas.com website. And I've also got some screenshots of some of the pages as well. So while Amazon's approving that, we've got that on the website, because I think it's really important. I don't know about you guys, but when I look at books on Amazon or on people's websites, I kind of really want to see what's inside before I go and buy the book. So I really understand how important it is to kind of see inside. So on the website, I put an image of the chapters. What's on the chapters here? Let me just close that page. So you probably can't see this very clearly, but if you wanted to hop over to botanicalmandalas.com after the video, if you wanted to find out more about what's in the book, here's the contents, and you can have a really good look at everything that's covered in the book. And as I said before, it's part inspiration and part art instruction. And there are a lot of exercises and tips and tutorials within the book as well. And also, as I mentioned earlier, when you do purchase the book, you get access to the exclusive book club as well. So what that means is that you get access to a membership site, and you can see all the video tutorials of some of the projects that are in the book. all the downloads that are mentioned in the book, they're all going to be on the book club members site. There's also going to be a free class on creating a botanical sketchbook as well, and there's going to be vouchers and things for taking classes with me, because I'm actually working on a year-long botanical mandala masterpiece or masterclass program, which is going to be a year-long immersion into creating botanical mandalas in lots and lots of different materials. So some of the snippets of some of the things are in the book. So let's get started. So there's an introduction, and there's a big page here about all the materials. Now I'm going to put a link to the materials list on the Botanical Mandalas website as well, with some links. So in the book club, we're actually going to be going through the book. So, we're going to be working through the book together in the Facebook group. As part of the book club, there's a Facebook community as well. So probably in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to get started with, actually kind of working with you all to go through the book, so we can share some of the things that we're creating, like in the motif section, in the drawing and painting mandala section. So we can all work through all of that together, and just encourage everyone to kind of just really dive deep into the book. So chapter 1 is really an introduction to mandalas. So, I really wanted to include, for people that are really new to mandalas, I really kind of wanted to include a very kind of basic introductory section into mandalas. And then we talk about what is a mandala and what is a botanical mandala. And we talk about mandalas in nature as well, because as I said in my introduction, nature is an amazing designer. And you'll probably start noticing, while you're out and about, when you start taking time to actually look at some of the flowers in your garden, or, maybe when you're at the florist, when you look at a rose from above, you'll see that it's actually a natural mandala design in itself. Daisies are natural mandala designs. So, there's a couple of different ways that I like to create botanical mandalas. And one of them is, using that as inspiration. So here's kind of one here, back to front, like a daisy. So that's kind of like looking from above. And then another example is kind of where we kind of use little motifs. So lots and lots of different motifs to create kind of a more structured mandala design. So within this book, there's examples and tutorials of the 2 different ways that I like to create. And I know everyone has a different approach to how they use their work. So I'm a very loose kind of artist. I love to kind of splash paint around and, kind of like it be more expressive with some of my mandala work. So I've included quite a lot of tutorials in the book that are like that. So if you feel like you need to loosen up a bit more, then there's a few tutorials that will help you loosen up. And if you're a kind of artist that likes structure and kind of something a little bit more that's within a framework, there's a few tutorials in the book that speak to that as well. So I'm kind of like, I'm trying to, even though I ear more towards all of the expressive kind of like throw it all over the place kind of designs, I did want to have lots and lots of different ways to actually create mandalas in the book. So we go through, the benefits of creating a mandala. Sorry if the video's chopping up a bit. Yeah. We talk about frameworks. So all of these frameworks are all downloadable in the book club. Then we talk about, starting a mandala practice and how important it is to kind of even spend 10 minutes a day, even being in nature, or just 10 minutes a day just doodling, even like a little design that's kind of something like this. So if you're completely new to mandalas, there's a step-by-step process of getting started. I've also got a couple of free courses on drawing and painting mandalas as well. So they're included when you sign up to the book club. They're also included in that. And they're also on my website, louisegale.com. And you just go to the bit that says free. So that's chapter 1. Let me just see if anyone's asked any questions. Hi, Emma. Thanks so much for joining. Emma Prasola. Oh, hi, Kim. Thanks so much for ordering your copy. That's fantastic. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. Oh, Leah, that's a good question. So Leah is asking, how did I come up with the ideas for each of my chapters, and what was my process to find one chapter over another? Do you know what? I think I might do a couple more Facebook Lives that dive into some of these processes, because I think it's not just as simple as a one word, one kind of sentence answer. But essentially, I spent a lot of time while I was in Bali, actually, when I was writing, I knew I wanted a chapter on connecting to nature. So I wrote quite a lot of that when I was in Bali. But while I was there, I was also mapping out kind of what I wanted to include in the book, and what the chapters might look like. Originally, I think I was going to do quite a lot of things on seasons, and then I decided to change that up. So to be honest, I think my contents have probably changed probably 4 or 5 times in the last, throughout the process. And then obviously when Tonya and I got to speak, we talked a little bit about, reordering and what would be included and things like that. And that's something that Tonya can help you define as well. I mean, I had quite a good idea already what I was going to include in the book. So Tonya really helped me define that. But if you are completely new and you have no idea, you just need some help, then that's one of the services that Tonya offers as well, to help you kind of, pull those ideas out as well. So Leah, I think I'm going to do a Facebook. I might include that in one of my other Facebook Lives as well. I might actually dive more deep into each of the chapters, because there's so much in each of the chapters. It is actually quite hard to kind of whiz through them, because obviously I'm stopping, as you can see, and chatting a little bit. Tonya, oh goodness. So Tonya's asking, did I learn anything new and surprising about myself during the process of putting my book together? Oh my goodness, that is a really big question. Yes. I think a lot. I mean, I think the thing is, obviously, because I did this in my spare time. So what I really found a challenge was the stopping and starting part of it. I really found that a challenge, because I had a lot of client work going on. I had a lot of other projects happening last year. So, working on this in my spare time, I found it quite a struggle sometimes to really kind of give myself permission to spend time on the book. So I guess I really learned that I had to really carve out some time to spend on it. That's one thing, definitely. And also, I think, there's so many different ways that I could have presented this book. So I think another thing I learned was, decide on what you're doing and just stick with it as well. So that's a nice question. Thanks, Tonya. Let's see if there's any more questions. No. Okay, so as I said, if I miss your question, I'm really, really sorry, but don't worry, I'll answer it in the comments later on. So chapter 2 this is the meaty one. So this is all about connecting with the natural world. And in here I like to write poetry as well. I like to write kind of nature poems. So I've filtered, there's a few little nature poems kind of throughout the book. And I really, essentially in this chapter, I talk about what I think is a sanctuary in nature. So I talk a lot about, reconnecting back to nature, how you can do that. I talk about my story in here as well. The benefit of going barefoot. I love to go barefoot. And there's a lot of healing properties in the earth. I don't know if you guys have probably heard of something called grounding or earthing. So this essentially is that whole process of putting your bare feet into the ground. So essentially when we do that, we actually connect more deeply with the earth and the energies of the earth and the vibration that the earth is essentially vibrating at. And it vibrates at a particular level that is a healing vibration. So that's why, when we're in nature or we put our bare feet in nature, we immediately feel the benefits of being in nature, because it's kind of bringing us back into balance. It's helping us rebalance, and it helps us heal essentially as well. So, in this chapter, we talk a lot about that, wabi sabi. So talk about kind of like the changing nature of nature, and how to kind of record that, and essentially just really savor each moment. You know, obviously being in nature, one of the things I wanted to get across is kind of taking time out and really spending time slowing down as well. So we talk a lot about that and just capturing those moments as well. So in this chapter, there's a lot of inspiration, how to capture the beauty around you, how to become a collector, how to take meditation walks, how to observe your collections, how to use what you collect as inspiration for painting and drawing, how to create nature mandalas. And this is a page here on sketchbooks. So as I said, when you purchase the book, there's a free sketchbook class as well. So there'll be like a video series on starting a botanical inspiration kind of sketchbook, and I'll be giving you guys some ideas on, you know, what to put in your sketchbook and use mixed media in your sketchbook. We talk about inspiration boards, color palettes. My goodness, I don't think I'll be able to go through every page here, but anyway. So that's essentially chapter 2. So, I mean, yeah, chapter 2, there's a lot of text in there, but essentially it kind of really sets the background, I think, for what my intention for the book is, before we kind of get into the nitty gritty of actually all the drawing and kind of painting and really start immersing ourselves. I know, like a lot of you kind of artists I know will probably resonate with this, but you know, when you're kind of getting ready to be creative, or you're getting ready to go into your studio, you know, sometimes you kind of have to, what's the word, kind of get yourself ready, and there's various ways that you can do that. And I like to go and walk on the beach for a little while and connect with nature. I have a smudge stick. Let's see if I can find it. Here we are. A smudge stick here that I essentially burn in my studio. So this is white sage, Californian white sage. And in the book, I talk about, you know, using nature as well to clear kind of negative energy. And this is one of the things that I love to do. So I use this white sage stick to clear negative energy in my studio before I create. So essentially, chapter 2 is really kind of about immersing yourself more into nature, but also preparing yourself as well for slowing down and really observing the natural world. And then chapter 3, we actually dive in here, which is drawing and painting botanical mandala motifs. So, you know, there's lots and lots of different botanical motifs that you could draw for your botanical mandalas. And I think there's another book there somewhere. But in this chapter, I essentially just touch on a few that I love to use. So we talk about mandala motifs. We talk about how I like to collect my drawings. So I do use sketchbooks, but I also have little cards. Let me just show you. I've got them here, actually. I have little cards that I create, and I actually put like a little ring bind around them. So here are some of the kind of cards that I paint and draw. So these are what I would call botanical motifs. So, you know, when you're creating your mandala designs, there are 2 different approaches as well. You might want to use kind of images that are in your head and create something in an intuitive way, or you might want to look at your drawings or, you know, motif sketches to give you the inspiration as well. So that's why I love creating these. You know, not only am I spending time with the particular subject, you know, drawing and painting it, and in the book, we talk about using just one flower and how much inspiration you can get from just one single flower. Essentially, you could probably get 15 different motif cards from one flower. We talk about that in the book. And, you know, I just love to have these cards because it kind of inspires me sometimes if I feel like, oh, what am I going to draw today? So I kind of just go through here and just pick one, basically like a lucky dip. So this is how I love to store my motif cards. And I normally have them kind of in different subjects. So I've got like blooms, buds, I've got leaves, I've got ones with all the leaves on here. And those of you who are doing the 100 days project, I don't know where we are on day 40 something, but that's what I'm doing at the moment. So I'm creating 100 days of botanical motifs because I really wanted to build up my motif collection and inspiration deck as well. So that's something we talk about in the book. So that's what chapter 3 is essentially dedicated to. So I talk about, you know, how I create the cards, and then the different kinds of motifs that I love to create. So blooms is one of them, which essentially is what I spoke about earlier. When you look down on a flower, it's kind of like a mandala design itself. So we talk about the different ways to do line drawings, and then there's a little bit of painting in here. And in the Botanical Mandala Masterclass program that I'm going to be launching, it'll be starting in September and we'll be launching in June. Module 1 is going to be all about motifs. So we'll be drawing botanical line drawings, we'll be painting with watercolor, we'll be using gouache, we'll be doing lots and lots of different kind of things with motifs, because obviously I touch upon them in the book here, but I know having videos and walkthroughs is much easier, and also using watercolor to create your motifs is really fun to do as well. So then we talk about stemmed flowers, all the different types of stemmed flowers, motifs in watercolor, and how to kind of like create your own collage paper as well. We've got that in here, using watercolor for your motifs. And this is like just little inspiration pages like this as well, just to help you be inspired with creating your own. And then essentially we've got a couple of tutorials. And then as a section on inspiration from a single flower. I love the dahlia. And then there's leaves and ferns. So we talk about leaves and ferns. And then we talk about seed pods as well. So they're kind of like the 4 botanical items that I love to use the most in my mandalas. So that's why I've included those in the book. And then chapter 4 is painting botanical mandalas in pen and watercolor. So again, this is kind of essentially for people that are beginners too. So if you're completely new to mandala designs, this is a great way to get started. And I take you through, you know, how to kind of map out using all the different frameworks, and cutting out your motifs, and how to kind of map out different designs before you might start drawing mandalas. So if you're somebody who likes to, I guess, plan, you can, you know, use this as a process. And then we've got different projects. We've got the lotus petal mandala project in here. So it's just hand drawn. And then in the book club, we colour it in with the colouring pencils. Stargazer Lily is a project. Again, these are all going to be in the book club as well. So not only are the tutorials in here, you've got all the videos of me creating them or colouring them in inside the book club too. So this is actually really great for beginners, this section. But obviously, if you're already a mandala artist, hopefully, you know, obviously this is going to inspire you as well to start looking at your mandalas with a more kind of botanical theme. Yeah, someone's sending me a message. Ka-ching. Okay, and then we've got the Daisy and Crocus mandala. So as you can see, these are quite structured, these ones, quite structured. And then using pressed petals as inspiration. So hopefully there's a lot of different types of tutorials in here to really spark your imagination. I really try to kind of, you know, put a lot of variation in here. You know, obviously I'm using one particular petal here as inspiration, but of course there's endless inspiration from pressing petals. And you can use this project to then inspire you to create 10 more mandalas, you know, based on different petals that you may have pressed. Then we've got the actual spring bouquet mandala burst that's on the cover. So you can have a go at creating that yourself as well. And then of course being inspired to use your own motifs. And then chapter 5 is the mixed media botanical mandala section. So this is just a sampling, I guess, of different ways that you can use mixed media in your projects. So we do a little bit of collage. So this is tissue paper, painted tissue paper and collage. Again, the tutorials in the book club for that as well. Then we actually create a sun catcher that you can hang on your wall from pressed flowers. And if you live near me in Spain, you walk past my studio, you'll see that in my window. Most people know which studio is mine because that's hanging up in the window. Then we play around with some gouache and wood. And what else is there? I think we do a bit of, oh, here we are. So this is one of the projects, leaf pods and berries. So this is a bit more mixed media, and I've got this one here. Do you know what? I just created this on a cake board. Isn't that amazing? I just ordered some kind of boards that you put cakes on, because I just love the fact that they're already circular. So that's one of the projects that's in the book there. And of course that's using that's using that motif and kind of these motifs as well as kind of inspiration. And then we do some stamping. We make some stamps. And we have a go at making some clay blooms as well. There's lots of different, being a mixed media artist, I love watercolor, but I really love playing around and just trying so many different materials. I love clay. I don't know what it is. I actually studied ceramics when I was 18 through 20. I did ceramic design in Staffordshire in the UK. And I think that's why I have this love for kind of like 3D objects and kind of like ceramics. So we're definitely going to be doing a whole month of ceramic, like clay work in the year-long class. I can't wait to do that. So I thought I'd include a project in the book just for some fun. And there's a kind of thing to do as well. If you've got children, you can use it's air dry clay that we use in that project in the book. So if you've got children, you fancy trying that out, that's a really fantastic project to do with your kiddies. And they'll just love just kind of like creating flowers, and you can create leaves as well. And there's the barley inspired one in here. So that's actually on stretched canvas, the barley inspired one. And then let me just stop just to see if there's any questions. So if you've got any questions, guys, please feel free. Oh, thank you, Leah. So Leah's saying the images are beautiful in my book. Are they my photos? Yes, they. Apart from obviously this is the last chapter. This is the inspiration gallery, and this is student work, which I'm going to show you in a moment. But yes, all of the images in the book, all the nature photographs and all the step-by-steps and everything. I took all of those photographs myself, and then my profile photos are actually a couple of years old. I had those taken by a fantastic photographer called Ashley Fincham, and her brand is A Global Walk. So it's aglobalwalk.com. She took some profile photos of me. I'm just going to try and find one just to remind you. So these were actually taken at a place called Ghost Ranch in New Mexico. I was there helping a really, really good friend run an art retreat. And while I was there, Ashley offered to take some photographs, and I took her up on the offer. And she is just an amazing photographer. So yeah, so they're a little bit wild because obviously you can see I have bare feet. I've got bare feet there, and I'd actually had trouble sleeping because there's actually Wi-Fi there, and I find it really hard to sleep in Wi-Fi. So I had a bit of a tough time kind of sleeping and everything. So I was barefoot in that earth, let me tell you, several times a day. So these images really have a very strong meaning for me, actually, because they're kind of a reminder on how important it is to be doing that grounding, that earthing every day, or several times a day if you can. So Ashley took these photos. So yes, so all of the photos are my own. I really wanted to make sure I did that, actually. I thought to myself, maybe I would source some photographs, but I really wanted to kind of try and have all my own photography in here. So they're from Ashley. She's amazing. I wish she lived closer because I would hire her in a heartbeat. She's such a fantastic photographer. So let me just see other questions. Oh yes, Leah. Leah's asking, share too in my other videos about my experience with working with a book publisher. Yes, I could do. I mean, obviously, I worked with on this book. This book is self-published, so I worked with Tonya Jenny to go through all the editing and the layout, and then we then self-published on the Create Space platform, and then essentially that's how it gets onto Amazon. So I think we're going to do a call and talk about that a little bit more and give people the opportunity to ask questions. So we're going to do that maybe in a couple of months' time. But obviously, I'm happy to also, when we do that call, I'm happy to talk about working with the publisher. With the other book that I did, that was the collaborative book, Mandala for the Inspired Artist, I worked with Quarry. It was Quarry, or Walter Foster is their subsidiary that I worked with, and that was a great process as well. I mean, literally, they just paid me a one-off fee for doing the work for the book. So obviously, it's a lot different. There's different contracts that you can have when you work with different publishers. So I think we could probably talk about that, Tonya. I'm not sure. We'll have a think about what information would really benefit people, and give you an opportunity to ask questions beforehand as well. And obviously, Tonya used to work at Northlight Books too, so she's worked with a lot of artists to bring books out into the world. You may know Tracy Verdugo, Carrie Schmidt. There are a couple of books I've actually been in as well, so that's why I'm kind of pulling those out. But Tonya's worked on those too, so she's got so much experience with working with artists and publishers and layout people as well. So yes, absolutely. Thank you, Leah, for asking that question. I think everyone's got a book inside them, right? Everyone's got a book that they might want to birth into the world, and I think it's such an important process to be able to go ahead and do that and put that out into the world for yourself. So yeah, absolutely. If people can learn from my experience, because I really do want to bring more books out, and I will, definitely be a different. I've learned quite a lot from how I approached it as well. Leah, another card. Leah, you've got such great ideas. I love you. So Leah's like, create a mandala tarot deck. Do you know what? I have thought about doing a deck of cards, so I might do something in the future. Hi, Mark, who's just joined. Okay. Hi, Margaret. Nice to see you. Okay, so is there any more questions? Okay, so just to finish up, because I know we're kind of getting close to the hour now, and thank you so much, everybody, for, I know you're all really busy and time is so precious to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me to just support me in this and just help me celebrate too. So chapter 6, or the gallery part, is essentially just some inspiration as well, and also some beautiful mandala work from some of the students that have taken some of my classes over the last few years. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be launching a new year-long program, which is the Botanical Mandalas Masterclass, which is going to be a real deep dive into botanical mandala drawing and painting and mixed media. And we're going to concentrate on different materials every month and then mix them all up as well. So that's something that's coming, that's new. But for the last few years, I've been running kind of nature classes, like nature sketchbook classes, and also kind of mandala classes as well. So there's 3 mandala classes that I run from louisegale.com. You've got Mandala 1, which is kind of just drawing and colouring mandalas. That's complete beginners. And then we've got Mandala 2, which is like painting and collage and a little bit sculpting. And then Mandala 3 is the masterpiece one, which is the mixed media class that I run as well. So some of these lovely ladies here that are in the book at the back, they very kindly submitted some of their work, and it's just awesome that I've got to actually put some of my student work in my book. I would like to just maybe have a whole book of student work, to be honest, because there's so much inspiration. So here we've got Deb and Natasha. Whoops. Beautiful. I mean, these guys are all just amazing mandala artists. There's Winnie and Lydia. We've got Angela and Eileen. And of course, there's text underneath as well, and you can find out more on their websites. You've got their website listed, so if you love their work, you can check out more of their work. There's Kate and Judy. Aren't they just gorgeous? So gorgeous. And there's Claire and Sigrun. As you can see, there's people, people take my classes from all over the world, mostly from the States, but there's Sigrun from Iceland, Australia. We have Australia and Europe. And then here we've got Fabienne at the back here. I think Fabienne's been taking my classes right from the start, actually. So her work's gorgeous. And then at the back of the book, there's just a little blurb there on Ashley and Tonya. So you can find out more about Ashley's photography and also Tonya's editing and layout, artwork, and how she works with artists to publish books. And then I've just got acknowledgements and about the author here as well. And then at the back, I just talk a little bit about the masterclass too. So that's like 176 pages. My goodness. I have to say, I don't know about you guys if you've got your copy yet, but I just love the feel of it. One of the decisions you have to make, obviously, is, the kind of paper you use, and then, the cover, is it matte or is it shiny? And I really wanted to have like a matte finish to it. That was kind of really important to me. I've got lots of different books, and I just love it feels more organic. It kind of feels more organic to have like a matte finish to the book. So I hope you, I know it was a little bit all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed just me taking you through some of the pages in the book and talking a little bit more about what the book's about and why I was inspired to write it. As I said, I really want to share a lot more about the process and the background and the journey that's around this book, because there's so much. It's really hard to I can't really capture all of that in 1 hour. It's really, really difficult. So I hope to be doing a few more of these Facebook Lives, even though I'm very, very nervous when I first start, but I just love connecting with you all. And it's so great that you're here live. And thank you so much to everyone who's watching the recording as well. And thank you so much for posting your questions. Just going to have a quick look through just to see if there's any more that I may have missed. A few people just commenting saying how great it is that, grounding and earthing is so great. It really is. Oh, that's so nice, Tonya. That's so sweet. So Tonya's saying, I know I'm a bit biased, but I truly do feel there is something for everyone in this book. It's so comprehensive and so approachable, and you make it super easy for beginners, as well as offering new perspectives for experienced artists. Thank you so much. That means so much, Tonya. And yeah, that was kind of my intention as well. I think it's, we will talk about the whole process and stuff, but I think, when you're thinking about putting a book together, it's really hard because there's so much you want to include, isn't there? And you can't include everything. And this book did start at 144 pages, and we had to add, the other 30 later on in the process, because there were so many things I wanted to include, and I didn't want to not include them. So that's why it's that lovely meaty 176 pages. And that's essentially why, obviously I wanted to include the book club membership as well. So there's a lot of bonuses that come with the book, as I mentioned earlier. So let me just check my notes to see if there's anything that I said that I was going to cover and I haven't done yet. That's right. So one of the questions was why do I think, creating botanical mandalas is good for all of us? I think I've definitely covered a lot of that in the call. I think in a nutshell, definitely, I think it's really more about, I truly believe that nature is our medicine, and, we all have flowers and plants and things that we're drawn to. Think about what your favorite flower is. Think of that flower and why you're drawn to it. What is it? Is it the shapes? Is it the colors? Is it the smell? And I truly believe that there's something about that. There's something that's drawing us in. Maybe it's medicine that we need from that particular plant or flower. I've done a lot of color work as well over the last several years, and normally, when a color scares you or you're drawn to a color, it means you need something from that energy of the color. And I feel the same way about nature and flowers. So maybe think about kind of, what are the flowers that you're drawn to? And if you do go ahead and buy my book, maybe, go through the tutorials, but maybe try out you know, your favorite flower with those tutorials, and see if it kind of brings like more of a healing process for you. You know, maybe there's something in there. So, you know, I think creating botanical mandalas is a really unique experience for all of us. As I said, you know, being in nature is like medicine. It is healing. And also, you know, creating a mandala is a meditation in itself. So I think combining those two things is something very, very magical. And I think it's just a process that I would just love everyone to have a go at and try. So even if you're somebody who believes that you cannot draw or you cannot even create a mandala, then, you know, if you're not sure about buying my book, just take my free mandala class just to get a feel for drawing. And then if you want to go further, then, you know, obviously purchase my book and join the book club, and then you can dive really deep into drawing botanical mandalas. So where we now is 6 minutes past the hour, so I don't want to keep you guys any longer. I just want to check to see if there's any more questions. Oh, Susie, don't worry, that's okay. Susie's just saying she's sorry because she was joining late. That's okay, because the recording will be available, and if you have any questions at all, now Susie's already in the book club group. You know, Susie, you can post your questions here or just put them in the book club Facebook group as well, and I'll answer them there. And I know you got your copy, didn't you? So that's exciting. I think Susie, I think you posted your photo as well, didn't you, of you holding the book? That's fantastic. So yeah, Leah, just to finish off, Leah's saying, yes, doing a mandala practice every day. I realised this morning it's one of the things I miss doing every day. So yeah, so hopefully, you know, what information that's on the website and everything that's in the book really helps everybody kind of get back to that kind of practice of just creating every day, whether it's drawing a motif, creating a mandala, being out in nature. They're all the kind of things that I really want to inspire everyone to do. So I'm going to end, I think I'm going to end there. So again, if you've already purchased the book, thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and I would love to hear what you guys think about it. And please don't forget to go and register your purchase at botanicalmandalas.com/book club. And you'll then get put into the list, and then you'll get access to all of the free stuff that's going to come with purchasing the book. And then just one last reminder, if you want to join the giveaway, I'm offering a giveaway. So if you're happy to share this video with your friends on Facebook, if you think this might be something that they would like to learn more about, then please share the video. And I'm giving away 3 things. So a free copy of the book, a free print. Yeah, just to remind you, you've probably seen it a few times, of the print, and then free spots in my nature and mandala classes, which I was talking about earlier as well. So to enter, all you have to do is share the video. You can just write something if you want, to say, you know, I've watched this video with Louise, she's a friend of mine, or, you know, she's an artist that I like, or, you know, I think you guys would get something from it. And then as long as you share that before Monday night, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, then you'll be entered into the draw. And I'm going to do the draw on Tuesday, and I'll probably just jump on here really quickly. I'm trying to get myself a little bit more confident with the Facebook Lives, so I'm going to try and do a lot more of these, just maybe impromptu ones and stuff. So I'll do the announcement then. So again, thank you so much, everybody. It's been a pleasure to chat with you all, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share the book. Again, thank you so much for all of your comments, all of your encouragement. It's just been amazing. I love our art community. Everyone is just so encouraging and so thoughtful, and I think it really helps us, you know, put good energy out into the world and help other people put their art into the world, because it is a scary thing, putting your art out into the world. You know, I kind of went through moments while I was writing this book, even, you know, pressing publish on Amazon. I kind of went through are people going to like it? Are people going to buy it? Kind of moment. You know, I think we all go through that. And I think having a community of friends and colleagues and artists as well who are in the same boat, I think really, really helps. So I just want to say thank you to all. And in the acknowledgements, there's some thank yous as well, because this is important work that all of you do out there. And I really hope that my book and some of the things that I'm going to be sharing over the coming months, I hope it inspires you to think about kind of like a book that you might want to write and put out into the world. How cool would that be? Oh my God, I'd so love to read that. So again, thank you so much and have a great day, and thank you for watching, and I look forward to connecting with you soon, and just have a great day. Okay, bye everyone. Bye.